Aaliyah.
All righty, sorry, I was letting people in. I want to begin by introducing some of our wonderful speakers. We have 6 speakers today. Surprisingly enough, 4 out of the 6 were actually athletes at CR. A couple of these individuals I hit up because they were my personal friends and have done extraordinary work for their community and our community. But I want to begin with each one of these speakers have been given the prompts. They have 5 minutes to cover how their educational journey has been, some of the resources that they utilized, and some tips for each one of you as you navigate your journey. 5 minutes is not nearly enough to explain all the twists and turns that being a first-gen student can take. But we want to just get your feet wet because we're hoping to do additional materials or additional workshops in the fall to really encourage you. So so the lineup we have today is Jade, Allie, we have James, we have Irene and Marnie, and then Amber. So if Jade is here, she can take the floor. There you are in your car. Sorry, I got excited.
Oh.
Can you hear us, Jade?
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm just my phone's kind of messing up. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're very clear.
Oh, great. So do I just answer the questions from the prompt, or does anybody ask me anything? Sorry.
No, you can just answer the questions from the prompt.
Okay, so like what was your educational journey look? Sorry, I'm a little flustered. My educational journey, what it was like. Mine was kind of sporadic. I came here in 2012, and then I left and became a wildland firefighter. I came back in 2016, and I graduated the police academy. And then I ended up coming back again in 2020 for another program. But it was fun. I love CR. It's probably why I keep coming back. Let's see. The resources. Back in 2012, I didn't really have or know about a whole lot of resources. And I was very shy about reaching out. So that's why I left to become a firefighter, because I was able to get my financials. But then when I returned in 2016 and 2020, I got scholarships, and those were super easy to get, and I actually enjoyed writing them. Let's see. And now that I'm working here, because I'm the public safety officer, I'm the lead one, if anybody didn't know, I've come across so many resources like the Multicultural Center, the food pantry. I've talked to them, and I've figured out a lot of resources, and everyone's super handy. And the BIT team, the behavioral intervention team, that helps people if they're having like mental health issues or just any help in general. There's a lot of resources here that I didn't know about until I became until I started working here. And then lastly, for the journey,
oh yep, it looks like it worked.
Tips for the journey: as scary as it may be, don't be like me and not reach out to people. I was very shy, but we're all here to help. Everybody, any staff member, especially public safety. I know everyone's kind of shy around us or worried about us, but I'm here to help. And if anybody if I don't have the answers, I find the answers for people. And I want people to feel safe coming to public safety or coming to anybody for any type of help. And every staff member here at CR, we're all guides for you guys' journey. And yeah, that's about all I got to say for 5 minutes.
Jade, you were also an athlete here, right?
Oh yeah, I was. Forgot about that for like a minute. Then I got hurt.
What did you do?
Basketball.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. I think that's one of two basketball players we have in the lineup for you today. I just want to thank you for your time, Jade. I know you're on duty.
Yeah, it's all right.
But when you have a person of your caliber and you have a person with your compassionate heart on campus, it makes a huge difference. And thank you for keeping us safe.
No, my pleasure. This is what I'm here for, and I love it. And I want anybody to feel comfortable to talk to me for anything. I love talking. I can't shut up. So
So thank you, Jade.
you're welcome.
Next up, we will have Allie. Allie Wipf will be coming to speak with us.
Hey everyone. Just to tell you a little bit about myself first, my name is Allie. I started going to CR back in 2011, and I recently just graduated this past May with 2 liberal arts degrees and an associate's degree in registered nursing. So I am a nurse at St. Joseph Hospital right now. It's very crazy, but rewarding. I did play basketball. I'm the other basketball player, women's basketball player. I played there for 2 years, and then my educational journey, I started right out of high school, went to CR.
This is Jade with Public Safety. I just got a missed call from this number.
And
Oh,
Jade,
well, this
mute
was
your
the only number
microphone,
that
Jade.
popped up, and I figured I'd just give the call back as a courtesy.
We'll mute her real quick if you can just give us a second.
No, I don't. They just hung up. So yeah, but if it's important, they'll call.
How do I get to her? Okay, there we go. Sorry.
That's okay. So I started at CR right out of high school, played basketball there for 2 years, got an opportunity to go up to a school in Oregon and continue playing basketball. And I eventually came back to CR to start really doing all my prereqs for nursing. And I did my prerequisites kind of 1 to 2 at a time because I really wanted to focus and learn instead of just zip through them and then get into the program and like feel like I knew nothing. So my educational journey, it took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but in the end, it's been extremely worth it. In high school, you write letters to yourself saying where you want to be in 10 years. And at that time, you're like 14 years old and 24 years old. I had written to myself like, oh, I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to have my own home. I'm going to do this. And that was nowhere near where it was going to be. But it took me probably 10 years to get to where I am now, but that's okay. And it is okay to do it that way. Resources that were helpful for me was I'm Native American. I'm a member of the Hoopa Valley tribe. I'm also Yurok too, but I'm registered Hoopa. And so if anybody is Native and registered for either of those tribes, seek out their educational resources, because I would have not been able to make it through nursing school without their help, without their financial assistance. They're amazing to work with. I just saw that the Yurok tribe on Facebook has an education opportunity now. I don't think they did in the past, but Hoopa does. And if you're looking to go into nursing, what's his name? The counselor, his name is Barry. He specifically does with the nursing program, but he is so good if you're looking into go into that route. Other resources. Gosh, what did I use? Doing the scholarships that CR has to offer. They have a ton of them. And so just taking the time to apply, I got a few of them, and taking the time to apply. There's only I think you have to answer 4 questions. And my advice for answering the questions on those is make them personal, make them about you. People want to know your story. It gets so easy to just start writing and kind of give people what they want to hear, but really make them personalized and let people know who you are and why you want to do what you want to do. And then tips for the journey is really honestly, don't give up. Don't give up on yourself and don't give up on your dream. It took me 10 years to I've always wanted to be a nurse, and that's I've always knew what I wanted to do. But and if you don't know what you want to do, but just don't give up. You'll get there, and in the end, it'll be totally worth it. And if you do know what you want to do, try and find a job that's like an entry-level job in the field that you want to go into. And that way, one, it's like, okay, yep, it kind of solidifies like, yep, this is the field I want to go into. This is the job for me. Or two, it's like, okay, no, like this is not the job for me. I need to kind of rethink about what I want to do. And so those are probably my two big tips that I have to give to you guys.
Thank you so much, Allie. I really appreciate your time. I know you are very, very busy, and life is very busy, but for you to give that wisdom to individuals and those resources to individuals is huge. It makes a huge difference. Next up, we have James Slade. I lied. I said we had 2 basketball players. We actually have 3. James is our third.
Hello, I'm James. If you're wondering why it's cold, we're out in the snow. We're up in Tahoe right now. But the biggest advice for me, I'll talk about myself first. So I played 3 sports at CR. I played football, basketball, and baseball. Throughout that, I had a lot of help from Teresa Sisson, who is also in this meeting. I know all the basketball players are very close with her, but the resources that you could do at CR is there's a huge amount. There are plenty of scholarships. I got a scholarship from being from Ferndale High School, and no one else applied for it. So, look into those things. It does take some time, but the time is well worth it. I was at CR for 3 years. Yes, we do love Teresa. I was at CR for 3 years, and I then transferred to Sonoma State, where I played basketball, and I ended up playing rugby there as well. But when I got to Sonoma State, I was good with my academics, but then because I'm a math major, I started to kind of fall behind a little bit. And the biggest thing that helped me was going to those extra office hours and getting help from those teachers. I know as a student, when I was at CR, I didn't like doing it because I didn't want to look like someone who put that much effort in. But after my years at Sonoma State, it really showed me that you do need to put that effort in, and it really will pay off. Right now, I'm getting my teaching credential from Sonoma State to be a math teacher, and the journey was not easy, but it is for sure worth it. Also, back on scholarships, in the credential program, if you are, or not even just credential, but there are scholarships if you are Latino, African American, Native American. I'm Samoan, so I just had to put that I was Samoan, and I got a $5,000 scholarship. So look out for those resources. Really use those people, use your teachers. If you don't have access to someone like Teresa in the athletic department at the time, you need to try to find someone. Be vulnerable. That's the biggest thing for me, is vulnerability. And what were the other 2 questions? Tips. So some tips is never, like Ali said, never give up. Don't, just because it's taken you a lot longer. I just graduated in the spring of 2019, and I started at College of Redwoods in 2011. So, it took me 8 years, and it was a very long time, but it was well worth it, because now I'm almost done with my credential. And I also got the chance to try to recruit Miss Dunphy's daughter, but things did not work out. So she went to a different school. But always reach out to those people, and just be vulnerable, because it does take vulnerability to reach out and to try to get that extra help that you need.
Thank you, James. And I'm sorry. She ended up at University of Alabama.
Hey,
Kind of
it's
worked
okay.
out.
It's
It
okay.
kind of worked out for her, but
Yep.
I can honestly say you were absolutely warm and inviting, represented CR and represented Humboldt County in a very positive way. So thank you.
Thank
You
you.
for bringing a bright light for our campus. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you.
know that both you and Allie have to leave a little bit early. So ahead of time, I just want to thank you for your time, your encouragement. And I know that you both indicated that if students had questions or had concerns or anything that they could reach out to you. So thank you for making yourself available to us. About every 15 minutes, we are going to have a raffle because we want to keep you connected, engaged, and then give you a little Amazon money on the side. So DJ Marty is going to pull another name for us.
Just so that you know where they're coming from. For students only, the winner is Chris Miller, who will be receiving a $50 Amazon gift certificate. We'll be emailing that out to you.
Yay, Chris.
Chris is on the line too. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a former student, though. I'm currently an intern at the Grove, so I don't know if that counts still.
I think in this case it does.
Oh, okay then, fine.
Congratulations, Chris.
Thanks. That's very
Congrats, Chris.
lovely. Thank you.
All right, our next person that we have is actually couldn't make it today. Myke Magdaleno. He actually is the EOPS counselor, former alumni, former soccer player, whoop whoop for soccer. But I will be putting his contact information for anyone. He wanted to let everyone know that if you need anything, if you're interested in EOPS, if you had any questions, if you're interested in just figuring out how to navigate this journey, he's available to talk. So Myke Magdaleno couldn't be here, but he sends his love and just wants to let you guys know he's with you.
Before I log off, I just want to say Myke is a great resource. I used him a lot when I was there, and he and I are actually pretty good friends now, and I'm trying to help his son with his college basketball. So I'm gonna head out of here, but I just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, and don't be alarmed if we hit you up again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have someone very near and dear to my heart. We have Irene Gonzalez-Herrera. She used to be the assistant director here in the Multicultural Center. She's currently over at HSU, and she is amazing, an amazing resource that continues to give to our campus community.
Thank you, Aaliyah. You're so kind. So my educational journey, I came to the US when I was 9. So prior to coming to Humboldt County, I used to live in Bakersfield. And then when I moved to Humboldt County, I didn't really have the resources or the knowledge to know like what to do after high school. Thankfully, the high school counselor that I had was very supportive and motivating in terms of letting me know that I had the potential to go on to college. So she encouraged me to apply to HSU. So I actually did attend HSU, graduated there from the psychology department and got my bachelor's, and then applied for the master's program in academic research there. It wasn't easy, even though it sounds kind of easy. I was given the opportunity to get my nephew's guardianship. So along the way, like I had to be responsible for my nephew. And so I had to make sure that not only was I keeping up with my work, but I was also making sure that he had all his needs. Some of the resources that were really helpful were the Yes House at Humboldt State. They had a really great program, and I became the director of the program after I volunteered after, one semester. Another really good resource is the Talent Search program, which is actually the program that I'm working with. And I was a participant in high school. So they really helped me in terms of like learning the skills to write scholarships. So throughout my 4 years of undergraduate, and then during my graduate education, I mostly applied to a bunch of scholarships. And I think last time I totaled, it was like over $40,000 that I got in scholarships. So I was both debt-free for my bachelor's and my master's degree. So I got that was like my part-time job in a way. So I made sure to apply to every single scholarship that I could. I made sure that I had a spreadsheet with all the deadlines and what requirements they had, all the materials that I needed to have. And of course, I would have my priority as to in terms of the applications and the scholarships that had the biggest amount of money, like I would apply for those right away. And so working at CR really kind of helped me also be aware of other resources at CR. The Multicultural Center really provides a lot of resources for students who to have a place on campus where they can just hang out, make friends, learn about other resources. The EOPS program is very effective with advising students and giving the resources that they need. And so is the TRIO program. So in case you haven't applied for that program, I definitely recommend that you apply to both programs. The food pantry also very beneficial in terms of providing food and other resources for basic needs. The counseling and advising department are very great at making sure that in case you don't know what you want to do as a career, you go and talk to your advisors and they're able to guide you. They have career assessments and different things that you can take so that you know and have an idea of what things in progress. And other tips for this journey is making connections with, there's a lot of adults and just other students in general that are there and they're willing to help you along the way. So definitely making those connections. I was very shy initially when I first started school. I didn't really think I was ever going to be doing like a presentation or talk in front of other people. But with time and the more exposure that I got, I guess the better I became at doing it. And so just making those connections, and there's always people that are willing to help you. And even if they don't know like how to help you, they will find someone who does. And so just talk to people, talk to your peers. If you have any classmates, talk to them, make sure you make those connections, because a lot of the students that I talked to that were just in my class became very like lifelong friends and people that I still have in my life. So make sure to keep those connections with both your other students and other people around campus.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Irene. I really appreciate that. And Irene has been a big resource in helping us connect some of the resources at HSU on our campus. I can't thank you enough. We now have a Latin Student Coalition helping undocumented students, and many of those things that are part of that program were things that we dreamed up together. And so your influence is still being impacting our campus. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate you speaking because I also came to this country when I was 9 years old. So it just gives me like a glimmer of hope of what could be, you know? So thank you.
Thank you, Edith. Next to our wonderful stage, we have someone I have known for a long time. I won't throw out the numbers because then that'll be self-incriminating, but someone I've known before she even stepped foot on CR's campus. She said to us in our when we worked on for the We Are Tribe, she said to us, "I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it." And Marnie Atkins, not only has she did her work here at CR and graduated, she went on to graduate from U of O, from HSU, and then U of O, and then U of O again. And now she is back, coming back to the community, working for the We Are Tribe as a cultural center manager. the love I have for this human being goes without saying. So I just want to, next up is Marnie Atkins. Our educational paths have been like this. There was not a clear path. And so I just wanted to bring Marnie in as an alumni and as a community member to encourage you.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Hot Wat Low, Rican Marnie Atkins. Thank you for having me. I'm Wiyot and from Table Bluff Reservation. And like Aaliyah said, we have known each other for, I don't even know if they had time back then. I don't know if at time the concept of it had been constructed at that point. But the journey has been wonderful to have her in my life. And I am glad to be home. And I think that's really what I want to talk about is I was a non-traditional student. So, you know, not midlife, but I think I was in my 30s when I decided to go back to school part-time. And I'm first generation. So I have sort of those kind of experiences, and I was working full-time and going to school at CR part-time, taking classes at night. And to this day, CR is my favorite place to have gone to school. And I've been to 3 different schools. And the reason why is because the professors there, the faculty are amazing. The librarians are amazing. The tutors, amazing. Because without their support and without their mentorship, I might not have went on to HSU, and then I might not have went on to University of Oregon. So even though I started school very young, right out of high school, it just wasn't for me. It didn't take. And I had a lot of, I felt bad about myself, like that was wrong. You know, you're supposed to graduate high school and then you go to college and then you get your degree and then you get married and then you have a white picket fence. I mean, right, that's what we're all kind of fed. That's not true, just so you know. And there's nothing wrong with you if that's not the way you go, right? Not at all. So I felt bad about myself for a long time and thought maybe I just wasn't cut out for education. And that's why I started taking those night classes. And because of the professors, when I showed interest, they showed interest in me, and just I blossomed to education. And so I started taking like math. Ugh, gosh, if you're so good at math, bless you. I am not, but I'm really good at writing. So maybe, you know, we could have had an exchange, right? You teach me math, I'll teach you writing, or, you know, we can improve upon each other's skills. And then I took a fun class. So screenplay writing, right here, I could have been the next one down there in Hollywood. I got great grades. Who knew that I was, but I am a ham at heart. So that's probably why. So that mentorship really meant a lot to me, that interest that these professors had in me. And then that followed me on to my other schools. That's one of the things that I can really share with you. When you take an interest in the subject matter that you have, and you express that interest to your professor, and then, or your teaching assistant, most likely they will embrace you and encourage you to come to discussion sections and encourage you to go to office hours and support you in ways that you might not normally be supported if you just show up to class. So really invest in yourself. Like, you know, when you choose the path of education, invest in yourself. But also, don't worry if you get it wrong the next time out. Meaning, take, especially at CR, take different classes, because like Allie said, she knew what she wanted, but sometimes other people don't know what they want to do. So, you know, take a job, try out that field. You don't like it, you know, don't go into education like that. Same thing at CR. Take different classes. Try astronomy. You don't know. Try physics. Who knows? Like, you never know where those paths and those connections will lead you. So don't be afraid to try and new things, different things, because you never know where you'll end up or how those connections may happen. And resources for me at CR were the EOPS office, and I didn't get to participate in a lot of like youth or, student programs because I worked during the day and then I had to go home at night or go to school at night. So I didn't have a lot of time. But once I got to HSU, I was able to participate more in the campus community because I went to working part-time. So be ready for those kinds of changes. And I wanted to say that about your journey, again, connect with your professors, connect with your teaching assistants, connect with your students, take classes outside of your area of study, and check in with yourself. Meaning, is this where I want to be? Is this where I want to go? Am I kind of on a trajectory that I'm interested in being? But don't forget, we live longer now and we may have more opportunities to change our careers or our educational paths or our professional paths throughout our lives. So don't ever think that you can't. And I wanted to say, don't worry if you have to stop and then come back. It's okay. If you want an education and it needs to pause, forgive yourself and accept that pause. Do what you need to do and then come back. You can always come back. I have an elder who I went to school with up at University of Oregon who received her PhD degree at the age of, I believe it was 89. So like, come on, if, why am I complaining, right? So just remember, and she was in her family, non-traditional, first generation, PhD, Yakima elder, boom. Like, come on. So you can do this. Just really reach out and be part of those support systems that can help you. That's what I have to say. So thank you.
Thank you, Marnie Atkins. So much wisdom there, so much I wish I had heard when I first started out, that, and the grace of being able to pause and come back. Next up, we have this is our last alumni speaker, but certainly not the least. We have one of our math professors, Amber Bunton, coming to the stage. Amber is one of those professors similar to Erin Wall, where when we had the math lab right behind us in the Multicultural Center, I could walk students over who were struggling, who needed help, and they could immediately get help. Like, having a resource like that available to help students is such a gift, because as a campus and as a campus community, we are a team. Our students rise with our connection. Our students benefit from us relying on one another. And having Amber and Erin available to help students has been one of the most extraordinary gifts. And having them 10 feet away or 20 feet away, I can't help you with your calculus. I'm sorry. I'm good at a lot of things, but I know who can. And so I want to open the floor for Amber Bunton. She's also going to be helping you with our tips, tricks, and cheat codes later on. So you'll get a little preview.
Thank you, Aaliyah. That's a very nice, generous introduction. Now I got to live up to my name here and help people with math, people that are terrified. So hopefully we get back to school, to campus soon, and we'll see what that different landscape looks like when we get there, I guess. We're all in this together, right? So I'll try to be brief. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I think I see some heads. Thank you. So I want to look at the questions real fast. So it says, what was your educational journey look like? So for me, I'm the youngest in my family. I'm the baby of the family and the first in the family to go to college. So there wasn't a lot of, encouragement at home to go to college, or even to know what college was like, to log into WebAdvisor, to do all these things that I had no clue. In fact, in high school, I had zero plans to go to college. So one of the, I think it was a program at College of the Redwoods called College Knowledge, and they came to the high schools and they got us all juiced up about college. And I met one of the best counselors ever, and she's my Facebook friend to this day. And she basically gave me the rundown on all things college, and I was just ill-informed. So I'm very lucky that I was receptive to that college knowledge session early on. And I always joke that I just joined the session for the free pencils and planner. But at the end of the day, 9 years later, I got my master's degree in mathematics, and I came back, and I am now finally a tenure track professor at College of the Redwoods as of last spring, or not tenure track, tenured. I misspoke. In spring, I finally got tenure. So, you know, back when I was at College of the Redwoods, because I went there myself, I thought, there's no way I'm going to be in school for 5 years, right? When you don't think you're going to go to college, 5 years seems like such a long time just to get, you know, say a teaching credential. And it just seemed like such a long time. And before I knew it, 9 years had flown by with 2 kids, 2 different degrees. You know, I went to CR in Humboldt State and got my bachelor's and my master's in math. And then I started teaching, and now it's been 10 years that I've been teaching at CR, and it's really just a blessing. So that's my journey. I make it sound so easy, but really I feel like it was these kind of happenstance events. And in the meantime, I really had to advocate for myself. I had to take advantage of all sorts of resources at CR. So that's kind of the next thing that I think one of the first faces I saw at College of the Redwoods was Sheila Hall. This was 01 to 04, mind you. I graduated in 2001 and then to 2004. I think she was the one who gave me my actual handwritten math assessment test and in the counseling office. So it's great that she's still here and doing all of the great things with scholarships, among other stuff. So just knowing that those resources are available, not just the counselors, but also I was part of EOPS. Cheryl Tucker was a big part of my kind of upbringing, that I had to find those people that I felt comfortable reaching out to and talking to. And every time I came up with something, I had to like push my ego to the side and just ask. Go just email Cheryl and say, what is this about? What should I be concerned about this? What is this option? What is that option? So I had to ask lots of people. The other resource that College of the Redwoods used to have, and I believe it's coming back, is the Career Center. The Career Center basically helped me try to figure out that I might want to be a math teacher and pursue math. It wasn't something that I knew, and I was undecided. And College of the Redwoods took me 3 years to get through my associate's degree, because I was an undecided first gen, don't know what to do college student. So in terms of resources, you know, make sure that if you qualify for a special program, or if you don't know, just apply and ask around and talk to people. The other thing many people mentioned are scholarships. There's one scholarship application for College of the Redwoods, and you fill it out for lots of scholarships. So that's already kind of, everyone already hit on that. But I just wanted to say that there's lots of other local companies, businesses, organizations that offer scholarships. Coast Central has some scholarships. The Rotary clubs in Eureka have scholarships that I've gotten and applied for. Humboldt Area Foundation does a single application too for lots of different scholarships out there. So those are good resources to look into, not just at CR. I will say though, that my first scholarship application was through College of the Redwoods. And once I received one batch of that free money, guess what I did? I took that same application and I applied to 15 different places. And then guess what I got? More free money. So I don't know who doesn't want that. And there's all sorts of suggestions in the chat box too about other places to apply for scholarships. The Seroptimists, they have a women's scholarship, a returning student scholarship. Kiwanis have scholarships. So anyways, I would just say that don't hesitate also to reach out to any faculty member you feel comfortable with reaching out to. I always post in my classes that I'm more than happy to read your personal statements, your essay responses, help you figure out where to click on the webpage to fill out the online application. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need help with the scholarship stuff. And once you do it once for CR, you have a little template that you just update, right? For me, it was like, now I've got 2 kids and now I'm going to Humboldt State. And guess what? Now I still need money, and I need money more than anything. And I got to support these kids I've got. And I love math, and I'm going to get through it. I swear. Like, that's kind of the big gist with scholarships. So I would just say to rip the Band-Aid off, because it really for me was a Band-Aid. I didn't apply till my last year. So 3 years in, I had probably Sheila, Cheryl Tucker. I had all these people telling me to apply for scholarships. And I was like, it's just too much. I probably won't get it, right? I don't deserve to be here. I don't know what I'm doing. Who wants to hear about me? And then I applied my last year and I got $3,000 in scholarships when I was leaving CR. I was on the President's Honor Roll. I didn't know that applied me for a scholarship. I had all these, I had a transfer scholarship to Humboldt State once I got there too. I mean, it was crazy. I just thought like, why didn't I do this 3 years ago, right? So anyways, rip the Band-Aid off and apply for scholarships. And I know we're over time here, so thank you, Irene. I know we're over time, so I just wanted to at least read my bulleted list here of tips for the journey. My tips for the journey: break the ice early on with your teachers. Any class, I don't care what class you're in, email them and say, I'm in your class, and hey, I might ask you questions. And breaking that ice early on is a really, really good thing, because it alleviates a lot of stress and possibly anxiety in yourself. And then for instructors, even if we don't respond that instant, I promise you, we love to hear from you. You are on the other end of that screen. You're on the other end of that email. We want to know you're engaged and trying to be a part of the class. Another tip for the journey is to advocate for yourself. No one else out there is going to do it like you once you learn how to do it, but it's a really rough journey if the blame is constantly on someone else for why you didn't complete your goals. So it was something I had to learn really early on, that like I could talk to 5 counselors and or I could talk to one counselor and say, that counselor gave me bad advice. Or I could talk to 5 counselors. I could talk to my teacher. I could talk to my friends, and I could make a collective decision on my own, right? On what the best decision is. So I would say just make sure you're advocating for yourself and figuring out what requirements you need for your degree once you figure out what you might want to do. Once we get back to class, my next one was, sit in front, right? Ask questions, be engaged, be present. That's just really half the battle. It's easy to sit in the back of the classroom and zone out, but I promise if you engage, it'll be a much more pleasant experience for everyone. Be persistent, take care of yourself, and at the end of the day, know that you belong here. Okay, and I'm going to copy and paste, because I already put it in my little note, just my email and phone number. If you have math questions, you don't know what math class to take, you want me to read your personal statement for your scholarship, whatever it might be, there's my email address and my CR phone number. Okay, that's my spiel.
Thank you, Amber. Marty's going to give away more money.
Yeah, I thought I'd interject. You people are inspiring me. I'm Portuguese. My grandparents immigrated from the Azore Islands. And my dad, born first generation here, was raised on a cattle ranch, extremely poor, him and his 5 sisters. Nobody in his family had ever been to college. Nobody on my mom's side had ever been to college. My dad went to a California community college. He got his 2-year degree in drafting. And who knew? He ended up working for 2 of the most important laboratories in the United States, the Sandia Laboratory and the Los Alamos Laboratory. So you just never know where your education is going to take you. And in retrospect, not only did he change himself, he changed our family, because ever since then, everybody in our family has gone to college. And the winner of the $50 Amazon gift certificate is Therese Torres. So we will be emailing you your gift certificate.
Thank you.
And next up is Julio to introduce our next speakers.
Hello, everyone. I've been enjoying this meeting, this celebration. I'm also a first generation myself. I didn't go to CR, but I work at CR and I coach the women's soccer team. I've worked with some first generation students myself. And so, yeah, it's not easy, but to anyone out there listening, anything's possible. And I truly believe in that. So as long as we get after it and believe in ourselves, anything can be done. I truly live by that. And our next guests are Liberty and Tyrique. I don't see Tyrique, but I do see Liberty. Fun fact, Liberty actually played for me the last year before COVID hit. She came in new to the sport, but I think her willingness to take on a new sport and a new challenge, I think speaks volume to the type of person she is, to take on a whole new challenge and be in a whole new environment. To me, that's something that has always stuck to me since then. So super awesome. And yeah, I'm excited to hear what she has to say.
Does that mean it's my turn now? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I've been here, this is my second year here. My first semester, it was so bad. I was on academic probation and I just had too much going on. I didn't handle my school and my life like I should have. So my journey was kind of all over the place, and it's better now. I really learned from Aaliyah a lot. She gave me a lot of advice, and I learned from friends and just from experiences to just put everything else aside and focus on my goals. And I'm off academic probation, if y'all were wondering. But this semester has been so much better for me, same with last semester. And I think that being a part of the multicultural program has really helped that, because it's given me 2 jobs, working for Work Study and then also working with CalSoap. And it's really helped me keep all of my things just organized and on task. And it's just given me more things to do and helped me balance my responsibility and everything a lot better. And EOPS was also a really helpful program to me, because they help with a lot of financial problems and book vouchers and tutoring and everything. But yeah, the Multicultural Center also helped me during my second semester, because that's when we're all on campus. So that would be 2 years or a year and a half ago. And it just really it offered me a place to just spend my time and do homework and just get to be myself and be calm without being bothered or being pressed for anything. And it just gave me a sense of home and family. And I did play soccer. I also do track. I liked the sport of soccer. It was a good social experience for me. But being in those programs has definitely also helped me just see more of what the world and what school has to offer. And tips I have are probably just really prioritize all of the things that you have to do, your schoolwork, your job work, your anything that you have to do, and don't let personal things in your life dictate too heavily on how you act and how you go about your business, basically. I think that's it.
Thank you for sharing, Liberty. That was great.
Is Tyrique here? I know that we have a couple phones, but I can't quite tell. Okay, since he is not here, we are moving into one of the coolest aspects of this whole program. Is tips, tricks, and cheat codes for math. No, they're not gonna teach you how to cheat. They're gonna give you cheat codes. Basically, math and English, especially if you're returning to school, can produce so much anxiety. But when I reached out to Nicole Bryant-Lesher, who's not here, but produced a video and told her this is what we were doing, she immediately jumped on board. Not only did she jump on board, she got other faculty involved, including Amber and Aaron. And then I think Ruthie and a couple other individuals who I can't see everybody on my screen, but we have some of the most phenomenal faculty who are wanting to give their knowledge, wanting to give their heart, and want you to feel comfortable in the classroom. Santa is going to introduce what we're going to be doing next. So I'm going to shoot it over to Santa.
Hello, everyone. My name is Santa Herrera, and I am the Latinx Coalition Advisor, also a student specialist for the Eureka Trio. And I was also a first-generation student at Humboldt State University during my undergrad years, and now been working at CR. So it's been amazing to hear everyone else's tips and advice as a first-generation student, returning student. I couldn't agree with anyone else on all this advice that you have. So now we'll be going into some tips and tricks for the math and English. We'll be having 2 breakout rooms for both subjects. I know this could be challenging subjects for students as a new student or returning student. So please feel free to join either of the breakout rooms. For the English, I believe we have a video. And for the math, we have some faculty that will be in there.
So I'm going to open up the rooms and then you select what you would like to go into, and there'll be 11 minutes in the room, and then it will bring you back to our general session.
Does anybody need help joining or need assistance joining?
Sorry, what's going on right now?
We're going into the breakout session. So you can click the breakout rooms and you can either join into the English and get tips and tricks and the cheat codes for English, or you can join up with the math. So if you click down at the breakout rooms, it should, you can self-select which one you want.
Where does it say breakout rooms?
At the bottom of the screen, are you on an iPhone or a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay, so on the bottom of the screen, there should be an option for you to join. If you click out breakout rooms, you should be able to join either the math or the English, and you can just click on there.
Oh, Leila. None of it says breakout rooms.
Okay, I will.
Is it people and then it says 14 and it's just going down.
And Marty went into one of the rooms, so I'm going to harass him and then
you point to the number, and then if you're on a computer, you point to the number and it turns to a join button.
It says invite.
Oh. when I click the breakout rooms, it pops up a little window, and then there's two lists of people. And if I point to the number,
so it's the one with the two persons and it has the number 12 and it just says invite.
Huh.
No, that's the participant list. So if you look at, there'll be participants, chat, share screen, and then breakout rooms. Do you see that one? And next to the reactions button, maybe.
Is it the one with the smiley face?
The one to the left of it.
The one with the green arrow? No, that one says share.
I don't know if she's having the same thing as me, but I don't have the breakout room button either. It's not there.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it either on mine.
Okay, I'll
have it usually says join.
I'll summon Marty back and see if he can.
There's 3 dots on mine if you don't have a full screen.
Yeah, mine has mute, stop video, participants chat, share screen, and reaction.
I'm gonna jump into where Marty is and pull him back in so he can, because he's the host for. I gave him the host capacity right now, and so I'll jump in with him and then have him come back and put people in rooms. Sorry for the delay. I think he went into English. Thank you for that revelation. He should be back soon to facilitate that. Until then, how are you guys doing?
Trying to go into Robinhood. There's a lot of commotion right now.
Oh boy. Such is the online learning environment. I'm so grateful for my headphones, like, because otherwise
It's so crazy right now in my household. It is like ridiculously like either you're gonna get on it or not.
What's going on with you, Jamie?
Getting used to living back in Colusa County.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is my second semester at CR, but I got in a car accident in December and blacked out while driving down Broadway, and I got in a head-on collision. So I'm back down here to see cardio doctors and find out something's wrong with my heart. So I can't drive, so I'm down here with family now until they can get all that fixed. Thank God school's online. Thank God.
And you're still taking classes?
Yeah.
Superhero award goes to both of you. Like, because that's amazing. That's amazing.
What else am I supposed to do? Just sit around doing what? No. I'll keep going to school. I don't feel broken. You know, you know what I mean? I don't feel broken. My brain still works. My heart's broken a little bit apparently, but you know, I'm okay. It'll all work out. Part of God's plan.
I had 2 heart surgeries last summer, so if you need any encouragement, just to, hey, this is a journey and we're not by ourselves. So.
I went and got like a EKG or something today. It was kind of cool to like watch my heart, but they're afraid to say anything. I think because they're afraid I'm going to sue them if something, you know. Like when you go have them look at the baby, they're not supposed to tell you if something's wrong with your baby. The guy was like, well, it looks great. And I was like, you wouldn't tell me if it was totally broken anyway. That's for the cardio doctor next week.
Well, if you need help with anything along the journey, you let me know.
Well, thank you so much.
And we are running later than I anticipated. I should have just made this 2 hours, but I didn't have any clue how much support we were going to get. And so we're going to record the resources. So if anybody, and I'll announce it to the group, if anybody has to leave, I totally understand, but we'll record the resources that are being given. It's worth staying for, don't get me wrong, but I want to honor, time frames are important to me, so I want to honor that. Especially when you got folks climbing all around you and you got chaos in the house and you got to make dinner and all those things. Tyrique, you want some money? My birthday is coming up. I'm assuming that Amazon gift card is going to go directly to my birthday.
Directly to your email account.
I shook the basket for you. I know me and Marnie are in 2 different cities. But
Nice. You had a little, ooh, she needs that.
I put at least 45 in there for you.
Oh, nice.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Am I the only one that's having a hard time picturing Marty as a DJ?
You've been practicing this for a while. He really does have some good tunes for you. I promise.
Nice.
And when he's not in this setting, behind him are all of these CDs and records and probably tapes, but we won't say that. We won't say
those lasers
tracks either. But he's got the full DJ setup, and so if we ever have some downtime music, go for it.
I gotta keep calling him DJ Mar now. Like anytime from a board meeting, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call him DJ.
DJ Marty Mar.
Nice.
So he didn't come back. I jumped in there, but at least I get to interact and connect with you guys.
Man.
Once this is over, I'm going to be sending out a whole big packet of resources that all of these different programs have given out, especially the tips and tricks for math and English. I think they'll be really useful. Program applications, deadlines, resources. So there's a lot of workshops happening and different things like that.
Aaliyah.
Yes, ma'am.
When are we going to have our meeting on Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
This Wednesday?
Yeah, all the information is going out today.
Okay.
So we have tons of support groups. So we have a first gen support group on Mondays. You guys are going to get all of this in your packet where we connect, provide you with workshops, how to navigate this journey. My education journey was like this. It was like, okay, I call it education journey by Braille. Like, this is like just figuring it out, everything the hard way. And so we have that first gen support group. We have the women of color support group on Wednesdays, men of color support group on Fridays, parent support group, because navigating as a parent is not easy. And navigating in the online environment when you have multiple kids and everybody's doing homework and you have one laptop and all of these different things, it is a struggle. We have our LGBTQIA support group. We have, running down my list in my brain,
Native American.
Well, those are our cultural clubs. So we have a Native American club, our Latinx club.
And what about the part when you have an autistic kid?
So I have some resources. Do you need help with that?
No, I'm actually was a preschool teacher at CR. I used to be in the Hummingbird, and so thankfully for them, they gave me all the resources to get him diagnosed. But I a caregiver for seniors, and so I decided this year all my 3 kids, they're not going back to school, because then all of a sudden you hear one outbreak came out, and then there goes my household, because I had it for a whole month in October.
Oh boy, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but like, you know, keep your head up, just go through it, go with the flow. There's nothing else you could do, really.
So there's a gentleman I work with over at St. Joseph's who runs a program specifically for navigating the education journey as a parent of autistic kids, specifically in Humboldt County. So if you reach out to me directly, email me, I'll put you in direct contact with him. But he also will do a workshop for us. And so within that parent support group are those workshops that are specific for that. Because it is not an easy journey. And the fact that you completed a semester with COVID and now you guys are superheroes, man. Superheroes. Are you guys back from the group?
Don't you have a grief support one or something?
Oh yeah, we have an anxiety and trauma support group. We have a grief support group. Navigating during this time frame is so difficult for a number of reasons, but you're not by yourself. So if you need help with things, please don't hesitate to reach out. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Teresa Torres, I actually went with CR's mental health, and I got a therapist from them, and it was really helpful.
That's awesome.
Who's talking? Okay.
Maritza Popoca.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Have all of our musical squares.
I know she disappeared for a minute, and then I went to the other page. I mean, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah. I got you.
I feel you. I went through it. I feel you. It helped a lot, honestly. And it's not something that it's talked through in our generation, at least as Mexican American. So this was a whole new level of a learning experience through that.
Is Marty back? I can't see all my squares.
Yes, I
am back. I could not respond to your message because in breakouts, you can only talk to the people that are in your breakout room, not back to the general session. Seems like no matter how much we use Zoom, we just keep learning. We are definitely in a learning curve. I just want to let everyone know, we actually will have another Amazon drawing in a second, but we're running a little behind. And what's up next is actually a very critical component of your success is our resource section. So for students who cannot make it, we are recording this section, but I think it would be really beneficial if you could wait. I just want to acknowledge the fact that we are running late and I don't like to waste anybody's time, but it's worth your wait, I promise. So without further ado, DJ Marty, you want to give away some money? Yes, we will give away some money. Our next winner is Camille Wardlow. She just put her thumb up. All right. That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
You are welcome.
Sheila will be introducing our resources.
Hi, everyone. So we have a list of folks here available to talk about resources with you today. And I'm just going to remind those that are presenting we are running a little behind. So 5 minutes or less, please. We've got TRIO, EOPS, libraries, the Grove and the Food Pantry, and I'll briefly touch on scholarships. But if we can start with Katie from our TRIO program.
Kelly, do you want to jump on here at the same time so we can tackle this together?
Sounds great.
All right, yeah. So my name's Katie Kaiser. I am the director of the TRIO program at the Eureka campus. And Kelly is the director of the TRIO program at the Del Norte campus. So we're just going to tell you a little bit about what our programs do. You would apply to our programs based on what campus you attend. And thank you for those messages. I'm going to go ahead and also put up the link to our programs so that you can see where you go to our webpage on the on the CR webpage, so you can find us, and that's how you apply to our programs. But Kelly, if you want to kind of jump in there and explain a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, so TRIO is a program for scholars. You know, when the going gets tough, it's, you know, when your scholarly nature comes through, because, you know, in the TRIO program, we promote persistence, we promote success, and we promote getting you to where you want to be, which would be graduating or transferring in 4 years or less. And how we do that is we facilitate a learning community. So just, you know, if you're in any TRIO program right now, please put up a reaction or your hand, because I think we're in good company. Just kind of want to take a poll. Woo-hoo! Yay, TRIO. So you guys are super awesome because, you know, what's really important about TRIO is that it is a learning community. And, you know, we offer extended availability for counseling and advising support. We offer TRIO peer mentoring as well as tutoring. And we offer workshops, and we help with career development. We do career assessments, career support, career guidance. We also promote a lot of connections with other areas on campus. A big one is financial aid support and working with financial aid, or working with Sheila Hall for finding and completing scholarship applications. Katie, do you have others that you want to add?
Yeah, you know, we also here at the Eureka campus, we have a club that is involved with our TRIO program. So it's a really great way for students to get to know each other and do, you know, kind of, our club is really about what the students who are in our program want it to be about. So it can be about community service, it can be about supporting each other, it can be about studying, really whatever our students are interested in doing. And then when we're back in person, unfortunately right now we're not doing this, but when we're in person, fingers crossed for next year, we'll be able to take students on to visit colleges as well. So to go look at four-year universities for those of you who are thinking about transferring. So that's a really fun, awesome trip that we go on for a few days to go look at some schools. And it's, you know, our programs are totally free to you. So everything that you do with us or services that we provide are totally free to you. And we're funded by the federal government to offer these services to students. So we just really highly encourage you to think about joining one of our programs. You can be in our program and an EOPS. You're going to hear from EOPS here as well. So you can be in both programs at the same time. So please just look into us. I put our website in the chat, so you can click on that. You could apply to both of our programs on our website. So go ahead and click on that. You'll get all the information you need, and then you can apply right through the website. And we will contact you when you get an application in. And even if you're not sure if you qualify, just apply. Most students in one way or another do qualify.
Yeah, first gen especially.
Yes, first gen, low income, and students with disabilities.
And yet, TRIO students do tend to be some of the most successful College of the Redwoods students that we have here. So be a part of our program, succeed with us, and let us be the team that cheers you on.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that, trio. Next up, we have Alex from our EOPS office, and I think maybe Colin. We're gonna go into these, we say a lot of acronyms, EOPS and trio, and we wanna make that alphabet soup make a little bit more sense for you, so.
All right, thanks, Sheila. So a lot of you have been hearing today about EOPS. A lot of the faculty and a lot of the past alumni students have been talking about it. I work in EOPS, I work with TRIO as well, and I work with another program as well called CalWorks, and I believe Kentay is here, Kentay Johnson is here, and I'll let him talk about that program. However, I'm the special programs tutoring coordinator over in EOPS, and let me just talk really briefly about EOPS before I jump into the tutoring center. So EOPS is a service that's offered through College of the Redwoods, extended opportunities, programs, and services. We offer counseling and advising, tutoring, financial aid assistance, priority registration, transportation assistance. We have a lending library, and we have a book voucher that's $250 or more a semester. So it's extremely helpful. What we also have is a special programs tutoring center. We have a tutoring center that goes along with the other centers that are on campus. We're just something that's there to help you additionally get through your classes. We have this semester, we're gonna have 2 workshops a week, Motivation Mondays and Workshop Wednesdays. Motivation Mondays are to get you pumped up for the week that's coming up, let you know about some campus events that are happening, even though we're in this virtual setting. And then Workshop Wednesdays are going to go over building up your academic skill. This week that we're coming up is going to be going over note taking, which can be crucial in online classes. Some tips I want to talk about is these have already been brought up, but it will make your college experience it'll make it extremely fun. Breaking the ice in your class, having that, just being the person that asks the questions, makes comments after other people are speaking. It really engages you a lot more and it makes your experience that much funner. Finding a job on campus is extremely huge too. James put that in I believe Teresa put that in the chat messages that James mentioned that. That was one of the biggest connecting factors for me when I was going to school. It was just having that job on campus. It was a department that I knew that I could go to and just talk with some of the my fellow peer workers, student peer workers. And then just having some staff on campus that I could go to if I ran into any problems. Another one that Katie just brought up was TRIO has a club. Find a club on campus. Get to know some of your classmates. This being virtual, you can lose that part of the college experience, and it is huge. But also, if you have any questions about EOPS or just the tutoring center as well, we're going to be opening this Monday. And I'm going ahead and putting down the EOPS website in case you want to apply for that. But if you have any questions or concerns, you can always send me an email as well. I can put down my email in the chat and my phone number if you just want to find out about just our tutoring services. We're going to offer small group tutoring, one-on-one tutoring, and drop-in appointments. So go ahead and contact me if you'd like to set one of those up. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. So I don't see Colin on, is that right? Yeah. Okay. So we have some library resources available as well. And Susan's here to talk a little bit about that.
Awesome, thanks for the welcome. I'm Susan Gare. I'm one of the reference librarians at the CR Library, and I also work with Katie Kaiser at the Upward Bound program in Eureka. I want to leave you with, see if I can do this in less than 5 minutes, 3 basic things about the CR Library, and I'm going to share my screen because the first one I want to share with you is how to find our website, because that is the springboard to a lot of our services and all of them for right now. So from the homepage of the CR Library, you're going to scroll down to the library button. That is one way to get to us. The other way is under academics. and then scrolling down to the library home. So that's how to get to our website. We have a collection of over 65,000 books, 130,000 ebooks and other online resources that are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even though the building is closed, you can arrange by calling the library at 476-4260 to arrange pickup of items. And we also check out other resources for your books. And then we also have some, but not all, textbooks. The next thing I want to tell you is like how to find books and articles. And one way to get there is, so if you're searching for books or videos, there's the one search box. But our library catalog database is also on this list here of this A to Z list that you can get to. There's our one search catalog under popular databases on the right. These 43 databases, some of them are subject specific, like America, History, and Life. Some of them are multidiscipline and great places to start, like Academic Search Complete. Some of them are encyclopedias like Britannica, or if you're taking speech and you need pro and con resources, there is also, actually, if you go to database types and getting started, CQ Researcher and Points of View, which is just a little ways down here. And the third thing I want to make sure that I leave you with knowing is how to get help from a reference librarian like myself, because our whole job is to help patrons with their information needs. And that's for CR students, that means we can help you with finding books, articles, and media that support your schoolwork. And we also know what is meant when your instructor tells you, you need to have 3 peer-reviewed articles. We can tell you what that means and how to find them. And we are available by telephone. Again, that number 476-4260, and you push option 3 to get to a librarian. We also have chat reference, and I'm actually, so when you're at the homepage of the library, you'll see this chat with a librarian now button, and you can chat with one of us. Mondays through Thursdays, 12 to 8 p.m. Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And when we're not available on chat, this button says something like email a librarian, or questions, email a librarian, and we will write back to you within 48 hours. So those are the 3 things I hope you absorb and come and ask a question by chat or telephone later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Susan. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Kentay.
Good afternoon, y'all. How you doing? I'm Kentay Johnson, Dr. Kentay Johnson, Director of Special Programs, College of the Redwoods. I'm here today to talk to you about a couple of the programs we have here. First and foremost, though, I want to welcome you to one of the greatest institutions on earth. I'm a firm believer that if you start here, you can get to wherever it is that you want to go in life. I'm living proof of that. Reason being, I started where you were. I also am first generation, started where you were 2003 here at College of the Redwoods as a student. I am alumni from College of the Redwoods, graduated in 2005, transferred to Humboldt State, got my bachelor's in psychology in 2008. And I've worked at the college since 2009. I also was an EOPS student. So those of you who are EOPS, I worked in EOPS as a student, was a student mentor in EOPS, and was fortunate enough to come back and work in the program as a professional, and was the previous director of the program, but now I'm the director of the special programs at CR. I love what I do. It's a great institution. Get to work with a lot of great people. There's a lot of people in the room. Remember their names, write them down, bug them, ask them questions. I'm a firm believer in you. If you don't take any advice from me that you remember this. Always ask and make the system tell you no. Always ask, never assume. Always ask. If you think you're eligible for a program, apply for it. If you think you're eligible for a scholarship, apply for it. If you think you're eligible for anything, if you want any information, ask, apply, and make them tell you no. Don't assume, don't listen to your buddies, don't listen to your friends that's in the program. Please apply for yourself and let each program determine your eligibility. Now, what I want to talk about is CalWorks. So the first program is CalWorks. It is the California Work Opportunity Responsibilities to Kids program. It is a county program, so we do accept students who have been referred from us by the county. So if you are receiving cash aid for yourself or your child, and you have a child under the age of 18, you may be eligible for that program. We provide a lot of this same assistance as our other programs. So we do have some financial assistance that we've been awarding in the form of grants. We have some technology assistance, some counseling, some advising, ed plans, and we also help with a little transportation when need be. It's a pretty good program. Doesn't have a lot of requirements and a lot of restrictions like the other programs. You don't have to be enrolled full time in order to be CalWorks eligible. You just have to be supported by the county and eligible through the county to be a CalWorks student. So that's CalWorks. My new baby, I would like to say, that I want to talk about is the Growth Resources Outreach Valued and Empowerment Program. We call it the Grove, and it's a program that's designed to reduce food and housing insecurity among students who are attending College of the Redwoods. This program is for all College of the Redwoods students. And so there aren't any special income requirements or anything of that nature. We don't look at first generation status. You just have to be either homeless or housing insecure. And when we say housing insecure, you have to be at risk of, meaning being at risk of losing your housing. Let's say you're behind on your rent, or you're about to be evicted and you're behind on your rent. We can help with that. Let's say you're couch surfing, or you're sleeping in grandma's garage, or you're sleeping on little Jimmy's couch, or you camping out behind the woods, or you staying in the KOA, or you sleeping in a hotel. We can provide you 100% grant funding. So just like your Pell Grant, this is awarded and applied in the form of financial aid that you could use to secure housing. It's like I said, 100% grant funded. You don't have to pay it back. And so we can assist with that. We also assist students with emergency hotel vouchers. We understand that sometimes life happens, and sometimes family units go through situations, or students who are part of the family they chose instead of the family that they was born into, living situations, they break up. So we have funding in the form of emergency hotel vouchers that we're able to house students. So if you need a place to stay, I can put you in a hotel tonight. All you have to do is send me an email, or you can call the Grove cell phone number. I'll type it in the chat, and I'll make you a hotel room tonight, wherever you are, and we'll work from you from then. Tomorrow we'll call you and we'll start looking for you a permanent place. We also have food pantries located on all three of our campuses I want to tell you about before I go. So the one on the Eureka campus is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 3 o'clock. The one in Del Norte is open 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 to 2. And the one in Clemens Trinity, the Hoopa, is available by appointments. If you contact them, we will be able to assist you. We have food in the form of like canned goods, dry goods, things of that nature. I'm looking at other ways to be able to support students who can't make it to the pantry. So I do have some emergency food cards if needed with some funds that students could use at a grocery store. So I have some opportunities and some things that we're working on. But I'm so happy. Yes, our pantry does take donations. We can find our website. We're under the student services. So if you go to student services, the-grove is our email, the-grove@redwoods.edu. I'm going to put the number in the chat. It's 707-296-5445, sorry. There we go. There's a number in the chat. If you need us, reach out. We're here, and that phone is on 24/7. So thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you. And thanks for choosing College of the Redwoods.
Thank you so much, Kentay. I just want to reiterate what he said and so many others have said throughout this presentation is ask for help. There is no such thing as a dumb question. Reach out. We're all here to help you. This is why we're here. We wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for you. So it's important for us to help you. That's why we're here. So I just want to really quick talk about scholarships. Actually, I'm not going to talk about it at all. I'm just going to show you because everybody else did a far better job talking about scholarships than I could. So thank you for making my job so easy. I just want to show you real quick how to apply. So we have one online application that qualifies you for over 100 scholarships here at College of the Redwoods. All you got to do is fill out the application. How do you do that? I'm going to show you. So right now is the open application period for spring. So you're currently enrolled. Doesn't matter how many units you're in. Doesn't matter your GPA. Doesn't matter your background. We want to know about you, and you do that through the scholarship application. And we have lots of money to give out. Okay. So the application period is open now. We close March 1st. Apply before March 1st. Okay, to be considered for spring scholarships. You'll get to the application by the banner that's scrolling on our homepage right now. You got an email in your CR email today about scholarships, and our website is redwoods.edu/scholarships. Here it is. You click apply here. It will take you to the application system. If you were with us in the fall and applied at that time, you're good to go. You can update your application if you like, but it will be considered again this spring for scholarships. If you're new to us this semester or haven't applied yet, you can apply now. So you can go to sign up, you'll create an account, give yourself a password, confirm it through your email, and you're in. As one of the speakers mentioned earlier, there's 4 essay questions, pretty straightforward. Keep that information because you can reuse it and update it for other opportunities. There's a lot of money to give away. And the unfortunate thing, and I guess fortunate thing for those that keep getting it, is a lot of the same students continue to get scholarships because they got it down. They've figured out how to do it. They've got a solid essay, and they get those scholarships over and over. And there are some that are also very specialized. So as one of our former students mentioned too, he got a scholarship because he was a Ferndale High School graduate and the only one that was eligible. So as others mentioned, ask for help, apply for everything you possibly can. There's lots of resources for you. I know we're over time. It was a lot of information about resources. This will be sent to you and made available afterwards as well. But I think it's time for another drawing. So we're going to hand it off to Marty to do that.
Sheila, real quick, is there any scholarship workshops this semester, any virtual workshops or anything in the works?
I haven't set up any dates as of yet, but I'm definitely available via phone. We can talk about it. We can Zoom. I am open to helping in any way possible.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and pass to Aaliyah first.
Well, I just want to throw out, I know that we're over time, so, but I also understand the importance of connection. I understand how isolating this is. Like even me seeing all of my colleagues and seeing friends, like I feel so comforted. So I want to do speed friending, same bat time, same bat channel from 3 to 4 next week, where we'll do round robins where you can connect with one another. I just want to be able to make sure that you have that connection. Also, we'll highlight the different clubs we have on campus and the different support groups, because I think those two, although you're going to get all of that in the resources when we finish today, I also want to introduce you to some of the club advisors, some of the club meetings, so that you know that you have places or you have individuals, even virtually, where you can connect. So I want to throw that out before Marty gives away more monies.
Thanks, Aaliyah. And we both want to thank our trustees, Trustee Kelly and Trustee Mullery, for making today's event, along with our president, President Flamer. And our last winner for an Amazon $50 gift card is, can you hear the drum roll? Just goes to Andrea Giardin. So we will go ahead and email her card. So we wanted to thank you all for attending today's event. We're sorry it went a little long. First time around an event, you're never quite sure how things are going to go. So what we found out, we have a lot to tell you. So we'll probably make this event a 2-day event next time around. And we'll hold our speed friending event next week, which I think is a cool idea, because then everybody has more time to talk to each other. But thank you so much for attending. Proud of you. If you have any issues, you need help, you reach out. Thanks.
I also want to thank Marty. When we talked about this back in November, he was just open to allowing us to do providing services however we could. And so I just want to thank Marty. I want to thank the foundation for providing bags that are available to all of you students on all 3 campuses. I want to thank each one of our staff and faculty who have poured out their lives and their stories. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Like, learning and education is a hard process, and you guys are like hitting the easy button. For all of our presenters, thank you for your time. Thank you for telling your story. It's not easy to talk about the road that you've taken to get to where you are. We recognize that there are many bumps, and even thinking of this may have reminded you of those things, but I'm just thankful and grateful for each one of your stories. Most importantly, like, you guys aren't alone. You aren't alone. You aren't by yourself. You may be in a room by yourself. You may be on the computer by yourself, or you may have 7 kids jumping all over you. You may have to go care for a loved one and a grandpa. You may have to work 3 jobs. You may be doing, your life may have been turned upside down, but you are here and you are plugging away. And I could not be more proud of you. Like, this is an odd time to be alive, but you're doing it. And I just want to encourage you to keep going. If you ever get to the point where you're on the edge and you're like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, please reach out. We are your lifelines, because someone was a lifeline for us. And it is a joy and a privilege to be that for you. So thank you.
The last shout out goes out to Aaliyah, because she needs a big round of applause, putting together a great event.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my heart. And look for other opportunities in the future. There's so much we want to give to you, and so much you give to us. So thank you. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening.